Hey everybody, welcome to this B1 English listening practice video. You can use this video to practice your listening and comprehension as I speak. You ready? So today I'm going to talk about restaurants. This is a topic that I could talk about all day because I love eating out. So let's talk specifically about American restaurants. We could properly classify American restaurants into several different categories. There are fast food restaurants like your typical burger joints like McDonald's, Burger King, Jack in the Box, etc. These would obviously be considered the lowest class restaurants. Then there are normal average restaurants that chains are franchises. These places usually have locations all over the country as well as multiple locations in the same city. Then you've got normal average restaurants that are individual or family owned. In the US, we sometimes call family-owned businesses mom and pop businesses, so some other restaurants in this category could be called mom and pop restaurants. Then you've got your high-end restaurants, which would be considered fine dining. These can be really fancy and expensive, and if they're really high acclaimed, they might even have Michelin star or two. Needless to say, most people can't afford to eat at these restaurants too often. One other type of restaurant that's distinctly American is called diner. Diners are restaurants that sell typical American food, like American fast food, burgers, sandwiches, steak, etc. A lot of diners sell breakfast all day, so you can order egg sausages and pancakes at 9 p.m. if you want. I've always loved diners because they have a really American feel to them. Whenever I go on a road trip, I always look forward to stopping in the middle of nowhere at one of these classic American diners. You can always find diners off the highway in the middle of nowhere. Alright, now let's talk about tipping in the US. This is something that all foreigners need to know because it's a custom that's different in the US than it is in other countries. When you eat at a sit-down restaurant in the US, you're expected to give a tip for the service you receive. There are no exceptions here. Even though it's not mandated by law, it's an unspoken rule that all Americans abide by. You have to tip your waiter whenever you feel like it or not. So now you might be wondering how much you have to tip. Well, until recently, 15% has been the standard tip at most restaurants, but in the past few years, they've been trying to raise this. Nowadays, many restaurants expect 18% or more, which I think is ludicrous. I always give 15% no matter what, and this is still acceptable, but there's definitely a visible effort on the part of restaurants to raise this percentage. So be aware of this if you travel in the US anytime soon. Lastly, let's talk about the common expressions we use in the restaurant environment. When you first enter a restaurant and talk to the host, you normally say how many people are there in your party. So you can say, could I have a table for two, please? And to order food, you can say a few different things. You could say, I'll have the cheeseburger, I'll take the cheeseburger, or can I have the cheeseburger? You can use any one of these phrases and just substitute the word cheeseburger for whatever dish you're ordering. If you want to ask the waiter for something else after you already order, you can just use the phrase, could I have? So for example, you can say, could I have another glass of water, please? And one more note, in the US, you don't ask for the check when you're done eating. The waiter brings it to you without you asking. I know this might seem weird, but it's a custom. Okay, that's all for today. Leave a comment and tell me what your favorite type of restaurant is. I'll see you next time.